Hi, you guys. Thanks for hopping on. I am super excited about tonight because Shana Howell is here. I said your last name right, yes?
You did.
Okay. And I have to tell you that I have loved watching Shana since I first joined coaching because she's like just so real in the way that she talks about the business and who she is. And one of my favorite things about her is that she just is authentic and she doesn't pretend to be someone she's not. And that is just like, so I think that's an attractive quality in a coach because she's who she is. She doesn't try to be anybody else. And I think that's so cool. And she ended the year last year as a 5-star Diamond Elite coach. She worked her booty off to get there. And I know at times she didn't know she was going to make it, and she did it. She worked so hard and she deserved every bit of it, which is awesome. And the cool part about it is that she was sharing with me a little bit before the call that when we were at Summit, she was a 3-star Diamond. And then I saw her at the retreat in November, she was a 2-star Diamond. And then within like 8 weeks, she accelerated to a 5-star Diamond Elite. And I want you guys to really take note of that because I get a lot of messages and I talk to a lot of you about how discouraging the business is. And what I want to share with you is that you can take it from Shana and from me that the business goes up and down and it goes like this. But what's going to happen is you're going to see yourself constantly going up if you just keep at it and stay steady with it. So Shana is awesome. I'm so excited to have her share with us tonight a little bit about her journey as a coach and what she does to rock this business and bring in new coaches and how to be the most effective leader that she can be. So Shana, thank you. So
No problem.
See, how do I pin you? I forgot. I should have checked that part out.
Oh, it's okay. I'll screen share in a little bit anyway.
Perfect. Okay.
Well, thank you so much for that, and you're so sweet. Just to give you guys a little bit of background on me and how I got started in this, I've been coaching for just over 2 years, and when I decided to coach, I had been in my challenge group for 5 months, and I was that coach or that challenger that we all love, who borrowed a program from a friend and told my coach that Shakeology was too expensive and that I was not a shake person. So for 5 months, I was sitting in my coach's challenge group. Bless her heart, she let me in anyway. And then I started coaching. So those people who you have who maybe aren't quite ready yet, don't give up on them. And that's the one thing that I'll say is these people can turn into amazing coaches and challengers. You just need to give them the time to get there on their own. And we all get there in our own time. Trust me on that. So, and over the last 2+ years of me coaching, like Margot said, there have definitely been ups and downs. It has not been all straight uphill. I have missed goals big time. I have failed and failed again and again and again. And I just keep going. And I heard when I first started coaching, and I really took a lot away from this, is the difference between you and the top coaches in this company is time and work. This consistency that you put in, if you just keep going, you will get where you want to be. You just have to be willing to keep going even when you're failing, because you have to fail forward. And that's a big, big part of what we do here as coaches. So Margot just had me hop on the call and wanted me to share my tips with you guys about how to start growing your business and how to take that leap. So I put my basic top 5 tips on how to be a rock star coach together. And I'm going to go ahead and screen share because otherwise I have a tendency to get very much off point. So I'm going to go through my slides because this will keep me on track. But basically just how to be a rock star coach and the 5 things that I've personally found that really helped me to drive my business forward as well. So tip number 1 is just to decide to take the leap. And I know that this probably seems so basic, but deciding that you are going to be all in as a coach is the first thing that you have to do, because it is 100% up to you whether or not you do this. Margot can give you all of the tips and tools in the world, just like Kelly has given to her and how Kelly's coaches gave them to her. But it's what you do with what it is that you're learning that's going to determine whether or not you're going to be successful at this. So my first tip is let people know what it is that you're doing. Don't hide being a coach. Don't be in the coach closet. Get out of the coach closet. Let people know that you're coaching. Let them know what it is that you want to do with this, and be proud of that. There are going to be people always who are a little bit hesitant about what this is, but you need to be confident in sharing that with people so that when people decide that they're ready, and most people will eventually decide that they're ready, they know that they can come to you. You have to make this decision every single day that you are going to be a coach. And I say that because there are going to be days and moments where you feel like you have made a huge mistake and nothing is going right. And no matter what you're doing, you're not getting where you want to be. And every day you have to wake up and say, okay, yesterday might not have gone as planned, but I get to decide how this day goes, and I'm going to keep moving forward. So you have to make that decision every single day to continue coaching. You can do Beachbody part-time, but you can't do it sometimes. And this is a quote that I've heard again and again, and it is so true. Beachbody is not here to be your life. It's here to create an amazing life for you. And you can't do that by sometimes coaching. A big part of being a coach is building trust and making sure that your followers understand that you are here to help them and that you're not going anywhere. And when you do this sometimes, that breaks that trust with your followers, and that makes it even harder for you to get that momentum built and to get the ball rolling on your business, because people see that you're going in and out of this. And health is a very personal thing for a lot of people, and it's very hard for people to trust others with some of the details that they'll give you about their health, their insecurities, what it is that they struggle with, their weight, their before pictures, everything like this. It's all really personal. So you have to prove that you are here for the long haul and that you are going to be there to support them from step one to the very end of their journey, wherever that might be. And if you aren't all in, people can sense it. People see that you aren't there all the time on your social media. I remember listening to this call about if you go to a Starbucks, every single morning you go to the Starbucks to get your drink, and all of a sudden you show up at this Starbucks and it's closed. So instead, you go to the next Starbucks because, hey, your Starbucks was closed. You're not going to go to that Starbucks anymore because that one time you went there, you knew that you couldn't rely on them. So you went on to the next one. It's the same thing with coaching. If you're there every day, showing up and showing people what it is you're doing, and then all of a sudden they come to your page and you haven't been there for a week, they're going to stop following you and find somebody else that's going to give them that daily dose of inspiration. So you need to decide to take that leap and go all in and commit to it, no matter what that means, whether it's working this full-time, part-time, hobby coach, discount coach, whatever you are, you've got to decide it and you've got to dive all in because you can't do it sometimes. So tip number 2 is to dream big. And this one was a really hard one for me when I first started coaching because I wasn't sure what was possible. And I have always been one to play it a little bit more cautious. But first off, why did you decide to sign up as a coach? Every single one of you is on this team for a reason, even if it's just because at first you wanted 25% off of your Shakeology. You're here for a reason. Why is it that you decided to coach? And now, what are your goals and what's your vision for what coaching can be for you? The only limit is you, and I promise you that. Like I said, I have failed time and time again, but you will continue to fail forward. And the way that I look at it is you can push this year to maybe be, let's say you want to push to be a 5-star elite coach, okay? And you end the year as a 2-star coach. You probably got a whole lot closer to that 5-star goal than you would have if you had said that you want to end the year as a 2-star coach. So dream big. The only limit to your dreams is you. Your goals should scare you a little. They should push you out of your comfort zone. That's one of the big things that I've learned as a coach in these last 2 years, is that if it pushes you out of your comfort zone, that's where the magic happens. That's where you're growing into a better leader, into a better coach. And then the one thing that I always like to focus on, because like I said, you're going to have those days where you're feeling a little hesitant and maybe like you're not doing everything that you should, or that you're maybe failing. You need to be able to envision what is it going to feel like when you hit those goals. Your goal can't just be, oh, I want to make X amount of dollars, or oh, I want to lose X amount of weight. How would it feel to make $1,000 a week, for example? How would it feel if you lost 20 pounds and were able to run after your kid and not be out of breath? How would that make you feel? How would that impact your family and your life? And that is what I want you to start to envision every single day before you sit down, because that's a great way to set your intentions for where it is you're going to go and how you're going to reach your goals. And then the next part of setting goals and doing all this is to make sure that you're sharing your goals. Share your goals with your team. That is a safe place because we are all dreaming big here as Beachbody coaches. So share your goals with your team and let them know what it is that you're striving for, and share them with your family. This is something that I have done from day one, and it has been a game changer. My husband has always been very supportive of this business, and I know that that can be kind of rare. I know some spouses are not as supportive, But I think a big part of why he's so supportive is because when I first started, I sat down and I said, this is what I want to do with this business. This is my vision for what I think this could be. And that got him on board with my vision. And I think it's really important to have those that are close to you be on board with where it is that you want to go with this, because sometimes you are going to lose your way. And having somebody else that sees that vision say, you know what? I know that you've lost your way right now, but I remember that this is what your vision is and I can still see it. Let's keep going. Really, really helps. I have my husband for that. I have my success partner for that. If you don't have a success partner, find one. She has been my lifesaver the past 2 months. Hitting elite has been hard. It's been a lot of work these last 2 months. And having people to rely on when we're pushing for these big goals is really helpful. All right, so tip number 3. Be confident. And this is the number one thing that I wish I could tell every single new coach to do, because confidence spreads into absolutely everything that you do as a coach. And it is the number one thing that will help you to be successful. I truly believe that. Fake it till you make it. I had no idea what I was doing when I first started coaching. And I bet you none of you did. None of us grew up thinking, I want to be a Beachbody coach when I grew up, because that wasn't something to be when we were kids. And this isn't a traditional job, but we all learn as we go and know that. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to be willing to find them. So be teachable, jump into the trainings, know how to go through your Coach Online office and search the FAQs. I will tell you, I have had many, many, many customers and coaches come to me with questions that I had no idea how to answer. And I dove into the team page and I asked questions there, and I Google everything. And I don't just Google and find the first answer. I Google and I do a little bit of research. And you know what? That makes me a better coach for the next person that asks that question, because now I have an answer. You are never going to be able to know absolutely everything there is to know about Beachbody coaching right off the bat. 2.5 years later, I'm still learning. So just know that you have to be willing to find the answers. You don't have to know the answers right away. The other thing about being confident, do you believe in the product? And this is huge. Do you believe that if somebody purchases a challenge pack from you and does a program from start to finish and drinks their Shakeology and even does a meal plan 80-20, not even 100%, but does a meal plan 80-20 and has you as their coach, do you believe that they will get the results that they want? And if you are saying, I don't know, you need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get that belief, because the number one thing that we can do as coaches is help people get results. And if you don't feel like you can do that, you've got to find that confidence to do that before you start reaching out to people, because it makes it so much easier when you get objections and you are having to get out of your comfort zone and invite people to these groups, to know that what you have to offer is truly going to help that person. I have no hesitation and reaching out to people and sending voice memos and sending invites to people. And I know that sometimes people might get my intentions wrong and they might be offended, or they might say no, or they might ignore me. I don't care, because I know that the more people I reach out to, the more chance I have of finding that person that I can help. And I know that every single person I reach out to, I can help. And I truly have the intention of wanting to help them. And if you believe that too, it makes this entire process so much easier. Do you think it's expensive? I know when I first started coaching, I thought Shakeology was so expensive. I was like, oh my gosh, $130 for a bag of shakes for 30 days. That is ridiculous. And now I can tell you honestly that I think that this is the cheapest thing that I could do for my health and my family's health. I honestly believe that. And when people tell me it's expensive, the first thing I say to them is, okay, what do you usually budget for your food? Because people would be surprised what they usually spend money on that they're not really paying attention to. I believe that this is one of the cheapest things that you can do to get all of the nutrients in, to get everything that your body needs. And if you don't believe that too, it's going to come across in your messages. If somebody says, oh, I just think it's really expensive, and you say, yeah, it is kind of expensive, but blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't want to get it from you. You just told me, yeah, you think it's expensive too. When people say that to me, my automatic response is, you know what? I felt the same way, but this is what I found. I use feel, felt, found for those conversations all the time, because I truly have found that it is inexpensive for me and for my family. And do you feel like you have something to offer? I know I kind of just went over that, but you have to believe that even if you're a brand new coach, you have something to offer these people that nobody else can offer. I went to a Super Saturday one time and I just loved what they did. They passed out puzzle pieces to every single person in the audience at my Super Saturday. So everybody got a puzzle piece. And they're like, okay, look at the person next to you. Does your puzzle piece match with that person? And there may have been one person who could find a person that matched their puzzle piece. And they're like, look at how many people are in this room. And you all have a puzzle piece. And out of everybody, only one of you could find somebody in a quick 2-minute period who matched your puzzle piece. There are so many people out there, and you have something that somebody needs that nobody else can fill. And that is super important to realize, is that you are that missing link for somebody. You are that light bulb. One post that you make could be that light turning on for somebody that, oh my gosh, that is what I needed to hear. I can do that too. So have confidence that you have something to offer and go out there and share that, because you're going to find the people that you can offer something to. Tip number 4, lead by example. This one is huge. We all know that it's part of our vital behaviors. One of them is to be a product of the product. Are you drinking your Shakeology daily? Are you doing a program start to finish, not a hybrid, not skipping around all over the place, but doing a program start to finish to show what our programs can do if you follow them to a T? And are you sharing that on your social media every single day? I'm not saying every day hold up a shake and say, drinking my Shakeology, or every single day taking the exact same sweaty selfie and saying, got my workout in. Add value to it. Share how you got your workout in. Share what meal you replaced your Shakeology with, or why it was convenient for you to have that on the go on your way to work. But you've got to be sharing it on your social media, because if you're not, people aren't going to see it and they're not going to know what you're doing. You need to show up, and this sets the tone for not only your challengers, but for your coaches. If you are showing up in your challenge groups every single day, posting every single day, your challengers are going to follow suit. People do what you do. If you are showing up every single month in your business, and you're hitting Success Club every single month in your business, and you're adding 1 to 2 coaches to your team every single month, your coaches are going to follow suit and do the same thing. So if you want to have awesome challenge groups, be an awesome challenger. If you want to grow your team, and you want your team to grow their teams and have this massive way to help so many more people, grow your team. And the people that are watching you are going to follow suit. Stay engaged. This is huge. In your challenge groups, don't only just post, and don't only just post into your team page, but stay engaged and comment on everybody's stuff. Even if you are running a group with another coach, I run a group with my success partner every single month. I don't just comment on my challengers' posts. I comment on every challenger's post, because every single person is in that challenge group because they need love and support. And I am there to love and support people regardless of who they bought their program from. Same thing with the team page. In my team page, no matter what is posted, I'm commenting on it, I'm liking it, I'm showing people love, because somebody made an effort to ask a question or to put something out there on the team page that they thought would be beneficial. And it's my job to show them love. So show up in Margot's team page. If you have your own, show up there. If you are really active and hard hitters, find the team page that you really connect with and show up there, build relationships there, and really stay connected. And then the last part of leading by example is to be vulnerable. You don't have to be perfect by any means. I am not at all whatsoever. I share on an almost daily basis, but at least on an every couple of day basis, how much I love my wine. And that is not a very coach thing to do, I know. But I'm 80-20, and every single person who follows me knows I'm not a nutrition person. If I could outwork out a bad diet, I would in a heartbeat. But I can't. So I do my best to do 80-20, but at the same time, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to share with people what it is I'm doing. My birthday is this weekend. Am I going to be to a T perfect all weekend? No, I'm going to go out and I'm going to celebrate, and I'm going to share that, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you miss workouts, there's nothing wrong with that. Share what it is that's going on in your life. That is what's going to make you relatable to people. And then my last tip is to create lifers. And this is where you go from being a coach who is helping people with their health and fitness to being a coach who is not only helping people with their health and fitness, but you're helping people financially, and you're expanding your reach to so many more people. I always like to think of it this way. I can only help so many people. I'm only going to meet so many people in my lifetime. But as I grow my team, and as my teams grow their team, that in a way is expanding my reach to helping even more people. And that is just absolutely incredible to me that that is something that we're able to do. So we have to create lifers in order to make that happen. And what I mean by lifers is people who are raving fans, who just fall in love with the product, who would drink Shakeology and work out every single day, even if they didn't ever get paid a dime to do it. Because as we all know, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes time to build this business if that's what you want to do. And it can be this amazing, life-changing opportunity for you and your family, but it takes time. And you're going to have days where you don't want to do it. And you have to have those people who believe in this product so much that even when they are struggling, they're going to keep going. So how do you create lifers? First, you run amazing challenge groups. I very rarely recruit coaches from help wanted ads. I very rarely recruit coaches from sneak peeks, from what is coaching calls. I do sneak peeks. I have done many what is coaching calls, and I love to use those to send to my challengers who I think would be amazing coaches, but I very rarely recruit in that way. I recruit people from my challenge group because that's where people have fallen in love with the products. And in order to do that, I have to run awesome challenge groups. I have to make sure that they are getting value every single day. I have to make sure that they are getting results. So I use templates. I have created templates myself. I've used templates that Kelly has created in Hard Hitters. I've used the templates in the Coach Online office, which I think are great. I was hesitant to use them at first because they have before and after pictures of people I don't know, and they do tend to be a little bit more salesy, talking about Shakeology and all of these different kinds of things. But what I found is my challengers actually really like those templates, and they like learning a little bit more and having that reminded to them all the time of the different products and what it is these products can do for them. So use the templates that are created for you. You don't have to recreate the wheel. And add value. A few of the things that I do to add value in my challenge groups, I post videos. So for example, in the challenge group that I'm running, we post the same 3 videos in our prep week for every single challenge group. The first one talks about how to use your 21-day fixed portion control containers. Most people have them and they get them and it's overwhelming. So we have a video that breaks it down and shows you what the containers are and how it is we use them in our daily lives. The other video that I am in love with, and I post this all the time because like I said, I'm not a nutrition person, is how to simplify meal planning. We give meal plans to people, they get the nutrition guide, it's overwhelming to them. And I have had so many people send me messages like, I don't have the time to make all of these, I don't have time to cook. So I have put out a video that is how I meal plan. And I literally eat the same breakfast, snack, lunch, snack every single day for an entire week because it lets me budget, it helps me to meal prep and have everything portioned out and easy and ready to go. So I share in my video what I have found that's worked really well for me. Whatever it is that you struggled with when you were first in a challenge group, think of that. Think of how you've overcome it. Think about the things that you've learned as a coach and make a video about that because I guarantee you're not the only one that struggled with it. And then the other thing that I like to do is before I start any challenge group, I send out a welcome email. And in my welcome email to my challengers, I share what the group is going to be about. I let them know how to find the group. I talk about Shakeology and nutrition. I send the meal plans in that email. And I also send a personal development book. The Slight Edge, you can get a PDF on Google. It's completely free. And you can send them that link because I know for me personally, a big part of any challenge group is not just my fitness and nutrition, but my personal growth too. And I want to help my challengers to have that personal growth as well. So I always send a personal development book, but just something that's going to help them to get started. And then the other thing in the email, the last thing, I ask them 3 questions. I ask what their goals are. I ask what it is they've struggled with in the past. And I ask if I have their permission to call them out and hold them accountable. Because one thing that I do is as long as they say yes, I will call them out in a group. If I haven't seen them for a few days, in my morning post of my workout, at the end of my post, I'll tag 2 or 3 people and be like, all right, ladies, where are you guys at? So get their permission to do that. Send that welcome email. It's just another little personal touch that I like to do. Coach people through their programs. So we all know if we have sold a challenge pack, we're coaching them from point A to point B in their program. The All Access Challenge Pack changed that a little bit. And I didn't really think about it until my Super Saturday this weekend when Brandy Botts was here talking with us. And she said, are you coaching people through the All Access Challenge Pack? And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm not. I'm selling them this all access challenge pack. And it's basically like sending them a link to my shop and saying, here, pick a program. I never would have done that. I would have talked to my person and figured out what program they needed to do and sent them a link to that specific program. Okay, well, if they buy the all access challenge pack, when they go onto Beachbody On Demand, it's exactly the same thing. They're getting into that on demand and seeing a million different programs, and they have no idea where to start. So help them figure out what program they need to do. I personally have downloaded all of the PDFs for the nutrition guides for the programs, and I've downloaded the workout calendars for all of the programs, and I've saved them onto my computer. So when I pick a program for that person and I help match them with a program for their all access for whatever month we're in, I send them those PDFs so that they have them automatically. They don't have to go searching for them. I let them know where they are, but so that it's already right there and it's laid out for them, and I can help them from point A to point B through a specific program, even though they have access to everything. I do weekly follow-ups with all of my challengers. So I send them voice memos every single week, and I always do voice memos. For me, it's just faster, and plus I like them to hear me. But if you are a typer and you would rather do that, that's fine. I definitely recommend sending voice memos. It helps you get to know people a little bit better. But I send voice memos every single week. And if a person hasn't been showing up, I ask them where they're at, how they've been doing. This was your goal. How are you doing towards the goal? What is it you're struggling with, and how can I help you? And if they've just been rocking it, I give them major props and recognition and encouragement so that they keep rocking it the next week. And then I always find out what it is that people need from me. So every single week, I will ask them, what is it that you need from me this next week that'll really help you? I've had challengers say, you know what, I've got a really busy week. I need you to text me every day at this time. And I will. I'll set a reminder on my phone, and I will text them at that time every single day and ask them how their workout went. So whatever it is that people need from you, you need to make sure that you know what it is so that you can do that for them. And then the other thing I like to do is I create an ongoing group. So I have an ongoing group on Facebook, and this is where I put all of my past challengers, and it's also where I put people who aren't ready to join a challenge group yet. So if I'm talking back and forth with somebody and we can't get over their price objection, or they're just not ready to commit to a full-on challenge group, I always ask if they want to go into this ongoing group. And in this group, there's obviously people doing Beachbody programs. There's obviously people drinking their Shakeology and posting about that every day. But on top of that, there's all of these other people that are just doing whatever it is that they're doing, and I'm able to help and support them. I have a banner photo in that group every single month. It changes, and it's some kind of little competition, and whoever posts the most throughout that month gets a little prize, and I'm talking like $10 Starbucks gift card. It's nothing huge, just something to keep that motivation up and give them incentive to show up. And also in that ongoing group is where I post my call to actions. So any of my call to actions that I post, or any upcoming news for Beachbody, for example, when the health bet was coming up, or when the all access pass was coming up, I shared that in my ongoing group because I know people are going to get notifications. They're going to see it. And then the last part of creating lifers, get people results. The number one way you can get people results is making sure that they're showing up every day. And if you're running amazing challenge groups and you're following up with them all the time, and you're making sure that you are giving them what it is that they need, you're going to get them the results that they want. Make sure that people are taking their before pictures. I hound this into every single one of my challengers. I tell them, you don't have to share that with me. You don't have to share it with the group, but take them. And I want to know that you've taken them, because I promise you, you will regret it by the end of this month if you don't have them. So I always make sure that people take their before pictures. By the end of the group, most of my challengers send me their after pictures. And I always ask for their before pictures then, and I create their before and after, and I send it to them, and I say, do you see what you've accomplished? How huge is this? And just give them that extra boost to keep going, because these challengers are going to make the best coaches. And what I always hope for in these groups, as I'm watching people go through it, I can pinpoint in my head, that's somebody who I want to work with. And you know what I want? I want for every single one of my coaches who get started to have success right off the bat. And the best way to have success is to have that before and after, to show what it is that these programs can do so they can put it out there to people. So I always like to make sure that they have their before and after pictures, because I'm always thinking in my head, you could be a coach. And if you are going to be a coach, you're going to want to have these things. No, I don't say that outright to them right away, but that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head is, how can I set these challengers up to be amazing coaches if they choose they want to do that after this challenge group? So that is basically what I do. I invite every single one of my Rockstar Challengers to become coaches. I do not invite everybody in my challenge groups to become coaches. I know a lot of people do that. I like to be a little bit more picky because I want to make sure that I am getting people in here that want this and who are going to be amazing. And I feel like the number one thing you have to do as coaches, the first thing is be an amazing challenger. So if somebody has struggled for the month, I'll invite them to be part of my next group and have them go through another group with me before I'll invite them to be a coach, because I want them to see success. And the number one way to have coaches who become lifer coaches are coaches that come out of the gates seeing that success. So that is what I do, and those are all of my tips for you guys. I hope that that helped, but if you've got any questions, let me know.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I feel like I literally took like 5 pages of notes. I'm not even joking.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's what I love about you, Shana, is that you're like so practical, but you're like so creative at the same time. I think like it's such a good combo because like you had so many good tips and ideas, and I love what you started out with about how you were talking about that quote. I've heard it before too, about how you can do Beachbody part-time, but you can't do it sometimes. And I think it's so true, because if you don't show up, at least, a little bit, like you said, they're going to go somewhere else. And that Starbucks analogy is so perfect. It's so true. And I love the tips that you talked about, especially with being confident and faking it until you make it. Because I'm sure there are coaches that have been in the business for 5 to 7 years that are still learning too. It's not like you come in and you know everything right when you become a coach. And I know a lot of coaches get overwhelmed at first because there's so much information, but you're not expected to retain it all. That's why the FAQs are there and stuff. And I love how you pointed that out. That was really cool. And that was so good. I have some questions, but I want other people to ask first. So does anybody have any questions they want to throw out there? No? Quiet.
And that's one of the things that I think is really special about our company. And if you guys haven't heard Carl talk before, hopefully you've listened to the Natural Wake Up Call, but hearing Carl and his passion for what it is that he does just totally lights my fire, for one. But two, he's always creating new things. We have so many things. If you guys went to the Super Saturday and you saw the video, we have new Shakeology flavors coming out. I think he said we have 3 or 4 new programs coming out. We have what he's calling a groundbreaking nutritional product coming out. Who knows what this is going to be? But there's always things that we're going to have to learn about. And I think that's kind of awesome, because we're always finding new ways to help people that maybe some of our other products have missed in the past. So you definitely don't need to know everything. You just have to be willing to learn it.
True.
And be open to it.
It's so true. I think I have a hunch what their new product is. I got a survey. Did you get a survey? I took the survey and it was all about a protein bar.
Oh, really? I never take the surveys. Maybe I should start doing that.
Well, I don't either. And I happened to do that one. And I was like, okay. So I did that one, and it was like all about like, would you be interested in basically a protein bar that would supplement for like, that would work with the fix, which I was like,
that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah. So that's my hunch. But I have a couple questions. This is kind of a practical thing. When you said you send people the PDFs, it's such a great idea to do, like pulling them off of on demand. Do you do it by email? Is that what you do with people? Is that mostly how you communicate with people, or do you do Messenger? What works for you?
It's whatever I've been communicating with them with. So for example, the Challenge Tracker app, obviously they're going to get an email to join the group. So I send my welcome email there, but I always do tell them in Messenger that, okay, expect to get 2 emails. One's going to set you up for the group. One's my welcome email with more information. If they respond back to me in Messenger, I'll send the PDF in Messenger. If they respond to the email, then I'll send it an email. So it's kind of preference of the person.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good. And then for your ongoing group, I think that's like such a great idea how you do it. Cause I was wondering how you would, I've been afraid to do an ongoing group. I just do new challenge groups every month, but do you do, with ongoing challengers, but do you do a post yourself every day in that group for the ongoing group?
So I don't do like a template kind of post, like an add value necessarily post. I literally copy and paste whatever it is my workout post and Shakeology post is in my challenge group into my ongoing group. And then one of the ways that I add value to that, every once in a while when I'm sitting down to do my power hour and I log into my Coach Online office, you'll always see like the Team Beachbody blog things. And if something stands out to me, I'll click on it and I'll copy and paste the link into my ongoing group, and I'll share something from the Beachbody blog. But I don't ever do templates or anything like that in there, no.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay.
I like to keep it simple.
Right. I know. Yeah. I like that suggestion because I have a lot of ongoing challengers that I feel like my groups are getting big because I have so many ongoing challengers, and I've been wanting to do an ongoing group, but I wondered like what other people did as far as if you did a template every day or if it was just mostly just like posting your workout and Shakeology stuff. So
yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I mean, one of the things that I found, Andy and I run our groups together. And for example, this health bet group, because we were both pushing so hard in December for Elite, we have 54 people in our health bet group, and it is ridiculously overwhelming, not just because there's so many people, but Andy and I are both very adamant that we comment on everybody's. So it takes me, I'm not even kidding, about an hour a day just to go through everybody's posts and comment and make sure that I'm present with them and I'm coaching them. So I like to try to keep my groups way smaller than this usually. So I always am transferring people to my ongoing group. I never have a challenger who has been in a challenge group go to my next challenge group. They go into the ongoing automatically.
Gotcha.
The only challengers who will roll over into like necessarily my next challenge group is somebody who signs up as a coach, and then I'll have them go on into the next one so that they have something that they can invite people to.
Gotcha. Cool. That's awesome. Does anybody else have any questions? No. Well, that was awesome. Shana, thank you so much. I can't wait to post this on the team pages because I feel like it's just like super helpful. And I really appreciate you taking the time to share all this stuff with us. It was it was really, really good. So thank you.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And have a happy birthday this weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys.